Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
If you're a fan of I Love Lucy, you will enjoy our next program. It's comedy, of course. And many of the people who were involved in I Love Lucy were involved in Lucille-Ball and Richard Denning's program, My Favorite Husband. This program from November 11th, 1949, well, Liz has to start doing some babysitting for Christmas.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, it's the new gay family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, brought to you by the Jell-O family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. As we look in on the Coopers, it's morning. George Cooper is in the dining room eating breakfast, and Liz is hiding in the kitchen with Katie the maid.
Why are you afraid to see Mr. Cooper this morning? Is it something about money?
Shh, that's a dirty word.
Oh, dear, what is it this time?
Well, to put it in a nutshell, George wants to go over our Christmas list this morning, and I'm supposed to buy the presents with the money I'm supposed to have been depositing in our Christmas Club account at the bank each month.
Well, don't you have enough?
Well, not quite. You see, Katie, I missed a few months.
How many?
12. I just got a letter from the bank yesterday.
Was it a statement?
No, it was more of a question. It said, what happened?
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, why don't you just go in and tell him the truth?
Tell him the truth? Katie, your brakes are slipping. You know how George is about money. You'd think it was made out of gold or something. Now, I'll just stay right here with you until he leaves for work.
Liz, will you come in here?
Oh, trapped. Well, I'll just have to rely on the old standby. I'll lay down a smooch screen. You know, that always sort of takes his mind off things. Coming, baby.
Good luck.
Hey, what were you doing out there, Liz?
Well, I was just making sure that my little husband gets enough to eat for his breakfast.
Oh, I had plenty, thanks.
Oh, that's good.
Look, Liz, I had a couple of minutes, and I thought it might be...
Oh, you great, big, adorable thing.
Oh, Liz! You're fussing my hair.
Oh, where'd you ever get such beautiful blonde wavy hair, George?
I got it on a deal. It came with my head.
Ooh, you're so witty. Give me a great big kiss, honey.
Where'd you learn to kiss like that?
It's a gift.
Oh, that reminds me. We just have time to go over the Christmas list.
Oh, I had to open my big fat kisser.
Now, here's the list.
Yeah, it's a long one, isn't it?
Well, we don't have to worry about that as long as we have that old Christmas Club money salted away.
Yeah.
No charge accounts for us. No worrying about how to pay next January. We can show them the color of our money, that beautiful green.
Something tells me there's going to be a white Christmas. George, you know something? I don't think we have enough money in the Christmas account.
What? Well, Liz, you haven't been skimping, have you?
Oh, no. Every month I put in the same amount.
That's pretty good.
Oh, it was nothing. But what I meant was, I like our friends twice as much as I thought I did. They're so wonderful. Why don't you give me some more money, and then I'll have enough, twice as much for everybody.
You know, that's a funny thing. I've been thinking about our friends, too.
You have?
Yes. And I think half as much of them as I thought I did.
Oh.
I think we should take half the money in our Christmas fund and pay bills with it.
Oh, no.
Well, what's the matter with that?
Well, George, let's be practical about this now. I scrimp and save all year long to get that money together, and now you want to throw it away on bills.
Well, after all, Liz,
What about the Christmas spirit?
Well, it's
Stockings
true.
on the fireplace.
Well, it's just that this
was
would
the
be...
night before Christmas, and all through the house.
Liz, I was
Up,
only...
down, or down, Blitzen here, Dancer here, Prancer here, Vixen here, Schmixen here, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Liz!
Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Yatta-da,
all right.
yatta-da.
All right. We won't use any of the money for the bills.
Goody.
But I won't give you any extra either. Just use what you have in the Christmas Club account.
Goody dipped in pickle juice. Katie.
Yes, Mrs. Cooper?
I just figured out how to send presents to everyone, and it won't cost us a cent. We'll make fruit cakes.
Oh. But Mrs. Cooper, that's a lot of work.
Well, I'll help you, like we did when we baked the cakes for the church bazaar. We'll do it together.
Yes, ma'am. I'll bake the cakes and you'll lick the bowl.
Oh, I love you, Katie. Well, that takes care of everyone on my list but two. George and, one other. Katie, do you mind?
No, I don't mind.
Merry Christmas.
Gosh, just what I've always wanted, a fruitcake all my own.
Well, don't rub it in.
Oh, I won't. What are you going to do about Mr. Cooper?
Oh, I don't know. I could always suggest that we don't exchange presents, but it would be just like him to be a stinker and not give me anything. I'll have to get some money some way. I wonder if I could get a part-time job.
A job? You?
Well, you don't have to use that tone. I'll show you I can get a job. Where's the paper?
Oh, Mr. Cooper took it with him. Why don't you go next door to Mr. Woods? 4 of his 11 children have paper routes.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll be right back, Katie. If you want me, I'll be in the classified ad.
Good morning, Mrs. Cooper. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks, Mr. Wood. I wonder if you...
Mrs. Cooper, jump out of the way.
What's the matter?
The children are ready to leave for school. Stand back.
Well, I don't see what all... Oh!
Goodbye, Bob, Madeline, Adele, Lucille, Ruth, Lucian, Jessie, Walter, Jess, Joanne.
My goodness.
Do you mind if I don't speak for a minute, Mrs. Cooper? My lips get so tired. 11 of them just went by.
I only counted 10.
Oh, no, I'm sure that all 11... Goodbye, Hugo! Oh, you were right.
Do you go through that every morning?
And every night, too. Although the morning is the most hazardous.
What's hazardous about it?
Well, I haven't found out who it is, but someone's got a sharp propeller on his atomic beanie.
Well, I guess having 11 children does have hazards.
Well, I can't blame anyone but myself.
True.
To think that 2 words caused this whole thing.
2 words? What were they?
I do.
Well, you certainly did.
True. Well, Mrs. Cooper, what did you come over for?
Oh, I wanted to see a morning paper. I'm looking for a job.
Mr. Cooper lost his?
No. I'm trying to earn some money for Christmas. I spent the money I was supposed to buy presents with.
Oh, no, wait a minute. My oldest girl, Adele, has just taken a new position. Perhaps you could get her old job.
What is it?
Babysitting. Do you think you could do that?
Well, I don't know about the baby part, but I certainly know how to sit.
Good. I'll call the Pearsons this afternoon and see if they'll give you the job.
Thank you. Well, I'm all ready to go to work, Katie. How do I look?
Oh, you look fine, Mrs. Cooper, but I don't know what you got so dressed up for.
Well, I want to make a good impression. I never babysitted before. Babysatted. I never I mean, I never sat on a baby. I'm so nervous.
Well, how old is the baby?
Adele Wood wrote the details down, see? He's 5 years old. His name is Tommy Pearson, and don't bend over when he has a bean shooter in his hand.
Where does Mr. Cooper think you're going?
Well, I told him I was going to a lecture at the Women's Club with Iris Atterbury. Just to make it look good, I even asked George to come along. Naturally, he said no.
Oh, you're a tricky one, Mrs. Cooper.
Yeah, I know my way around. Well, so long, Katie. I'll go in and say goodbye to George. Well, goodbye, honey. I'm leaving for the lecture now.
Goodbye, baby. Have a nice time.
I hate to go alone. Are you sure you won't reconsider and come with me?
No.
Aw, come on.
Well, okay, I'll go with you.
Huh?
I'll go with you as far as the door. I left my pipe in my overcoat.
Oh, George, you're so clever.
Well, it wasn't that funny.
Oh, yes, it was. You have no idea. Well, goodbye, dear. Iris will be waiting for me.
Mr. Cooper, is there anything I can get you? You've been pacing around the house like a caged lion.
No, it's funny. I don't know what to do with myself when Liz isn't here. She ought to be home soon.
Home? She's only been gone 20 minutes.
Oh, really? Say, if Liz is out with Iris, Mr. Atterbury must be alone. I'll call him and see if he wants to go to a show.
That's a good... Oh, no, that's a terrible idea. Don't do it.
Well, why not?
Well, I just feel it wouldn't be good.
Oh, nonsense.
Really, I can tell about these things. I'm psychopathic.
Hello?
Goodbye.
May I speak to Mr. Atterbury, please?
Well, just a minute. Is this George?
Yes. Who's this?
Iris.
Iris? Well, why didn't you go to the lecture?
What lecture?
The lecture at your club.
Well, there's no lecture at the club. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the lecture that Liz left an hour ago to go to with you.
Well, I don't know what that... Oh, that lecture! I forgot all about it. I better rush. She's probably waiting for me at the club. I'll put my shoes on. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Nice try, Iris, but the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, and she left me holding it. Well, the cat forgot to tell me I was her alibi. Where do you suppose she is, George?
I don't know, but when she gets home, there's going to be a question and answer session, and she better know the answers.
Couldn't you just hear, "Oh, Lucy"? Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, My Favorite Husband, November 11th, 1949, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter. You can find those links at our webpage, classicradio.stream. Now, more of My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball, November 11th, 1949.
And now, back to the Coopers. Liz Cooper has taken up babysitting to earn money for George's Christmas present. Well, right now, she's just getting home from her first night on the job.
Thank you for driving me home, Mr. Pearson.
Oh, you're very welcome, Mrs. Cooper. After all, it's after 1 o'clock. I'm sorry Tommy gave you so much trouble.
Well, it was my own fault. I shouldn't have bent over. I didn't dream a bean shooter could shoot that far. Well, good night.
Good night.
Gosh, I didn't know I'd be out this late. I better tiptoe in so I won't wake George. Now, if I can just get up...
Liz!
It's you. What are you doing up?
I'm waiting for you.
Oh, you were worried.
Yes. Tell me about the lecture, dear. What was it about?
Oh, Usual thing. Let's go to bed, George.
What was it about, Liz?
Don't separate your words at me, George Cooper.
Liz, the lecture must have had a subject. What was it?
Finance.
Good. As a banker, I'm interested.
As a subject picker, I'm stupid.
What did he say about finance, Liz?
You wouldn't be interested, George. It's elementary.
You mean things like inflation, the fiscal year, and the devaluation of the British pound?
Oh, George, you're so smart. Those are exactly the things he talked about. He told us all about that fiscal business.
What did he say about it?
About what?
That fiscal business.
Oh, he said not to put your money in fiscals this year. That's right, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Did he say why?
Yes, because the frost ruined them all.
He certainly knew what he was talking about.
Oh, thank you.
What did he say about the British pound?
It's being invalidated.
Devaluated.
Oh, yes, that's it. And it won't be long before the pound only weighs 8 ounces. You see, George, it makes it lighter for the English people to carry their money around.
I see. How did Iris like the lecture?
Iris? Oh, she fell asleep.
No, Liz.
No?
Iris was home all evening. I happen to know there was no club meeting and there wasn't any lecture.
Boy, have we been wasting each other's time.
Elizabeth, where were you tonight?
Well, I'm sorry, George, I can't tell you.
Oh, fine. My wife stays out till 1:30 and then can't tell me where she was.
Oh, George, if I told you, it would spoil everything.
I'll bet it would.
Now, George, you're not going to be stuffy about this, are you?
No, I can take it. Who is he, Liz?
Who's who?
This other man, my rival.
Rival? Oh, George!
Never mind the act. Who is he?
Oh, this is wonderful. Georgie is jealous. Georgie is jealous.
I am not.
You are, too. If your eyes were any greener, you could stuff them with pimentos. Georgie is jealous.
Liz, for the last time, who is he?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Mrs. Cooper, did you sleep on the couch in the den last night?
No, Katie, that was my righteous, indignant husband, George.
Oh, didn't you tell him you were babysitting?
No, it's so funny, Katie. He thinks I have a secret lover.
You, a secret lover?
It's not that funny.
Sorry.
I just think it's a cute, harmless situation, and I'm going to enjoy it for a while. I'll get it. Hello?
Liz, girl. This is Iris.
Oh, hi, stool pigeon.
It wasn't my fault, girl. You should have tipped me off.
I guess I should have.
Well?
Well, what?
Who is he?
Who is who?
The other man in your life, the one you were out with last night. I'm all ears.
You do pretty good in the nose department, too. Well, I was going to tell you, but now it's none of your business.
Oh, come on, Liz. Tell me.
I can't talk now. George will be down any second.
Well, I'll talk. You just answer yes or no. Is he 6 feet tall with curly black hair, big blue eyes, and flashing teeth?
No.
Too bad, girl. Is he short, fat, and bald, but lousy with money?
No. Now, Iris, will you please?
I know he's ugly and broke, and you're in love with his mind.
Iris, for the last time, there isn't anybody.
Well, this is a fine way to treat your best friend. Go ahead and be closed-mouthed. I'll find out anyway. Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye. Well, Katie, the word is getting around. I haven't had this much attention since the 5th grade when a little boy and I were caught in the cloakroom.
Really?
Yeah, nobody would believe we were dusting our erasers.
Oh boy, November 11th, 1949, lucille-ball, Richard Denning, My Favorite Husband. The conclusion follows these important messages here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox here on your favorite station. Now the conclusion of My Favorite Husband, Lucille-Ball, Richard Denning, November 11th, 1949.
Mr. Atterbury, I'd like to ask your advice.
Come in, boy, come in. Iris told me all about your difficulties.
It's been 4 nights now. Every night Liz goes out. Another man is in love with my wife.
It's a problem, boy.
Has that ever happened to you?
With Iris? Ha ha! No such luck.
Oh, what can I do, Mr. Atterbury?
There's only one answer, George boy. Fight fire with fire. Do the same thing yourself. Pretend you're in love with another man. I mean woman.
Say, that might work.
I've never seen it fail yet, and I've seen hundreds of movies. Now, if you're not good at pretending, really get yourself a date. It's a wonderful excuse.
Okay, from now on, it's George Cooper, philanderer.
Where's George, Katie? I'm ready to leave again, and he's not blocking the door or shouting, "Who is he?"
Well, he was around someplace.
Here I am. What's the matter, Liz?
Oh, nothing. I'm leaving, George. So long.
Oh, so long.
Don't you care?
Care about what?
I'm leaving. I'm going to meet your rival.
Well, goodbye.
My lover.
Well, what are you waiting for, Liz?
Don't you care?
Well, yes, but I can't be sore at you when I'm doing the same thing.
Well, of course not. If you're... What do you mean you're doing the same thing?
Well, I happened to run into an old girlfriend today, and I asked her if
What? Oh, you're being so smart, pretending you have a date. Ha ha.
You don't believe it, huh?
No. Oh, you're such a rotten actor. Ha ha ha.
Well, it so happens I was just going to call her and say I'm picking her up.
You got your finger on the hook.
No, I haven't, see?
Oh.
Hello?
Hello, Helen?
What?
Is this Helen?
No, this isn't Helen. This is Geraldine. Helen has a deeper voice than mine.
This is George.
She doesn't even recognize your voice.
Oh, George. What's going on?
Where would you like to go tonight, dear?
Oh, I get it. Any place you'd like to go, darling.
Oh, Helen. You shouldn't say things like that.
Oh, well, I'm just a devil.
Well, all right. If you just want to take a ride in the country. It is a full moon tonight. Just you and me.
Gad, what a disgusting thought.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
George, who is she?
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to know?
I'll tell you who mine is if you tell me who yours is.
No, I didn't realize this was so much fun.
I'll stay home if you'll stay home.
What? Would you want me to stand Helen up?
I'd like you to knock her down. For the last time, George, are you going to tell me who she is?
No.
All right. Good night. I'm off to see my lover. And he's young. A lot younger than you are.
Well, that's nice.
And he's handsome and dashing.
Good.
And he's loaded. He's a big operator in beans.
Anything else?
Yes. Why don't you ever put the cap back on the toothpaste?
Huh? Well, what's that got to do with anything?
I've been saving it up until I was mad at you. Goodbye.
Well, good night, Mrs. Cooper. I'll try to be home early.
All right, Mr. Pearson.
What's the matter? You sound blue.
Oh, I won't bother you with my personal problems.
Well, I'll pay you for all 5 nights when I get back. Sorry I haven't had any small bills before now.
That's all right. Goodbye, Mr. Pearson.
Oh, there you are. I caught you.
George!
Yes, George. I followed you here.
Oh, darling, you do care.
Yeah, so this is Mr. Big Bean Operator. Come on, put up your dukes.
George!
Oh, what's the matter, Mr. Cooper? Oh!
I guess that takes care of your lover.
Oh, George, my lover is 5 years old.
What?
I've been babysitting to get money to buy you a Christmas present.
Oh, gosh, this is awful.
Well, it's worse than you think. He hasn't paid me yet. You just punched yourself right out of a Christmas present.
Before long, all over America, folks will be sitting down to Thanksgiving dinner. And they'll feel happier if they've helped to bring individual aid to the people abroad who are still suffering from hunger and privation. CARE, a non-profit organization, makes it possible for you to send more per dollar than any other way. For instance, for $10, CARE will send a 22.5-pound food package overseas. You simply send your money to CARE, New York. Give your name and address and the name and address of the recipient. You'll receive a signed receipt upon delivery. Remember, through your help, those hungry men, women, and children can have their Thanksgiving, too.
Yep, 4 years after the war, much of Europe still under rebuilding. It was a mess. November 11th, 1949, My Favorite Husband on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We close out this hour on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox with an episode of Claudia, sponsored by Coca-Cola, November 11th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
And now it is my great privilege and my great honor as first selectman for the township of Eastbrook to unveil this new war memorial.
Your hand is cold, darling.
Hold on, David.
Does it get you?
Yes, it gets me.
I unveil this monument to our sons, our brothers, and our husbands with the hope that those men we do honor here today, and in a larger sense, those men who died for the free way of life all over the world, have not died in vain. So, with no more words, but with a heart full of prayers, Eastbrook Memorial to our war dead.
David, is that the Marine Guard over there beyond the cedars? They look so young, as if they were going away to school for the first time.
Quiet, darling.
Sound makes me shudder.
It should. It should make all of us shudder.
Thank you, friends, all of you who came here today. Thank you.
It's over.
Oh, come on, darling. Let's get out of this crowd.
Yes, let's. I feel like being alone together.
Cut through to the right and we'll be out of the square.
Where's the car parked?
The corner.
It's a beautiful memorial, though, isn't it?
Yep.
And the sun shines on it. It's pure white. Black like gold. I don't like monuments.
They're necessary.
I always thought they were a luxury.
Only for those who remember, but they're necessary for most people.
David, your lips were so white when they were playing taps, and you winced when the muskets fired.
Did I?
Yes. I'm glad David, I have a confession to make. All the time he was talking, I wasn't thinking at all of what George Reynolds was saying.
He was pretty pompous.
Well, that's not why. I was only thinking of you and Bobby.
That's natural.
Natural or not, I think it's pretty selfish of me.
Why selfish?
Always thinking of us. You and Bobby and me. I should have been thinking of the men who died in the war. Their wives and mothers and sisters. I was thinking of you and Bobby and me. And my fingers were crossed.
And that's your confession? Well, you just go right on thinking of us. You'll never want war.
Nobody ever wants war.
But we seem to have an impulse for self-destruction in spite of ourselves. Are walking too fast for you?
Since when?
You're a little out of breath.
That's from thinking.
Oh, something new has been added.
You know, it doesn't pay being nice to you. I always end up being insulted. The woman behind me was crying. I wonder why we keep on having wars. Nobody forgets the dead so quickly, do they?
I wonder.
Maybe even that doesn't matter, whether you forget or not. I'm a fine one to talk. I didn't even hear George Reynolds.
Stop saying that. He's right over there.
Where, David?
He's crossing the street to say hello to us.
Oh, dear.
Hello there, Mr. and Mrs. Norton.
Well, hello there, Mr. Reynolds.
You were at the ceremony, I take it?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we're very moved.
Well, the words weren't important. It's what each of us was thinking that was important, I always say.
Well, we think so.
We won't forget those fine, courageous boys of ours very soon, will we?
No, I guess we won't.
The longer we remember them, the better. Much the better. And what did you think of the memorial itself?
Well, I thought it was very impressive.
The best there is. You coming down to the town hall now, Norton?
I'm afraid not. I've some business I have to attend to.
Ah, too bad. Committee is having refreshments. All ex-servicemen invited. We thought we'd like to have you there.
Well, I'm awfully sorry, but
No apologies necessary. I'll be calling you about the plans for the schoolhouse in a few days.
Yeah, do that.
Do you think he knew
Knew what?
that I wasn't listening to him?
Could be.
Well, then I'll bet he knew that you didn't want to go down to that town hall party, too.
Then let him know. Well, that kind of business always makes me so bloody uncomfortable. Why do occasions like this make people so very pompous? Usually George Reynolds is quite a simple guy.
He meant well. Here's our car at last.
All right, jump in.
Oh, you slide in first, then you won't have to walk around to the other side.
I don't mind walking around to the other side.
But I do. I miss you. Slide over.
I am much too good-natured.
Now that we're in private, kiss me and no arguments.
Who do you think you are today, a sergeant?
Yes.
I'll kiss you when I choose and please, not before.
When is that?
Now. Now, shove over. I can't shift gears with you sitting on top of me.
Don't forget to turn on the ignition.
Now, look who's reminding who.
Turning on the ignition is the one thing I always remember. Oh, you did that beautifully.
Thank you so much.
Let's go right home. Would you like to?
I thought I might take you out to lunch.
Oh, why spend the money? We have lovely lamb left cold from last night and ham from the night before.
The ham lovely, too?
Now, don't turn your nose up. You like cold cuts well enough when you order it in a restaurant at $2.50 a slice.
I didn't say anything.
Only because I didn't give you the chance. Let's go home, David. I feel like home.
All right. Home we go.
Town's so quiet. Strange how choosing one day of the year and setting it apart for remembering makes everything look and sound different.
There's nothing the matter with that. Much.
As long as it's not the only day of the year people remember on. I mean people like me who escape so easily without one scar.
Are you still kicking about that? Last year you were feeling guilty because you'd been born too late to suffer the first war, and Or be worried about the second.
I don't feel guilty anymore, just immeasurably lucky. Twice as scared that we might ever have war again because I know how wonderful life can be.
Well, at least you do know.
Hey, David, where are you going? This isn't the way home.
We can go home this way, just as well as the other.
It's longer this way.
Ooh, just a mile or two.
Or 3. Not that I don't like driving with you, but you're getting to be an awful spendthrift.
That's me. I need some gas.
The tank is 3/4 full.
Why wait till it's empty? Then it's too late, and you never remember to fill her up.
I've only run out once, and that was half your fault, too.
Oh, yeah.
Besides, there's still no reason for going in this direction. There's a gas station much nearer the other way.
Well, now that I've started, I thought I'd stop by Spofford Station.
Spofford Station? Is that the station run by the thin little woman with freckles on her arms?
So, freckles and gas have nothing to do with each other.
You always go there for gas, don't you?
When it's as convenient.
Even when it's as not, like today. It's funny, a woman running a gas station. Though I don't see why not, especially.
No reason. You women run everything else, or try to.
Is the gas better there or something, David?
About the same. All gas is about the same.
I were the jealous kind. Still, she seems awfully nice.
Stop thinking. You're wasting good energy.
You're wasting good time and gas.
We're here, and what's your hurry, Miss Tightwad?
You know, it is an unusually clean gas station.
It is.
Women are really more talented than men about things. Nobody home. She's probably still downtown because of the Armistice Day ceremony.
No, I don't think she'd have gone.
Why not?
Oh, I just don't think so.
Are you a mind reader or something?
She's around the back. I'll hop out and see.
David, I'm sure she won't appreciate a stranger snooping around. Maybe she lives in back. There's a little house there.
No, she won't mind.
See, you sound as if you knew more about this than meets my eye.
Stay where you are. I'll be right back.
David? David, she's here.
Hello, Mrs. Norton.
Well, hello. You better call my husband. He's gone around the back looking for you.
Well, that's all right. I'll just fill up your tank with a high test.
I'm afraid we only need a few gallons.
Don't apologize. Some folks only want air and water, and the bugs taken off their windshield.
I love the smell of gasoline, don't you?
I don't mind.
Oh. I've turned the motor off.
Well, that's okay.
I wonder where he's gone. Maybe I ought to go and look for my husband, Mrs. Spofford.
Well, he'll be back.
This is a funny business of some kind. Mrs. Spofford, I'll get David, seeing as he has the money to pay you.
Well, Mrs. Norton, he'll be back in just a second.
If I had a suspicious nature. David, you all right? What's happened to you? David? Is that you?
It's all right, darling.
Starting to worry what had happened to you.
Nothing's happened to me.
Where were you?
Looking around.
At what? David, something's going on. Tell me, please.
You have to know everything.
Yes, everything.
I might have known.
Known what? You know I always have to know everything.
I was visiting somebody.
Who?
A gentleman.
Is there Mr. Spofford?
Your car's ready, Mrs. Norton.
Well, we'll be right there.
Was it Mr. Spofford you were visiting?
You're kind of hunchy, aren't you?
David, what is it?
Yes, it was Mr. Spofford.
He's sick. So that's why she... Is that true?
Kind of.
That's why you buy your gas here. Why didn't you tell me? How could I mind?
Al Spofford isn't just sick, darling. He's broken.
Crippled?
The war left him pretty cracked up. He's disfigured and maimed. Except for his wife, very much alone.
The war. That's why you felt you had to see him today, isn't it?
Well,
They erected a monument to the dead, and on their own back doorstep there was the living. Forgotten except by you. This is your monument, David. How long have you known him?
A few months. I was kind of curious why Mrs. Spofford was running the station. You can figure out the rest. I come by now and then.
Shouldn't he be in a hospital?
He's not sick. He's just quite through with life.
David, I think I'd like to meet him.
He's not a very pretty sight, darling.
Think he'd mind?
No, I think he'd like it, but you don't have to do this.
Yes, I have to. And I want to. For you and Bobby.
And come on, I've told him about you.
Have you?
I told him what a swell chap I married.
Oh, David. Hold my hand.
Claudia, look at me, darling.
I'm looking.
And remember these words. for this Armistice Day, November 1948, and for Al Spofford, ex-soldier.
All the other living.
The tumult and the shouting dies. The captains and the kings depart. Still stands thine ancient sacrifice, and humble and a contrite heart. Lord God of hosts, be with us yet, lest we forget, lest we forget.
Amen.
This transcribed program of Claudia was brought to you by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. He and the cast of Claudia consider it a privilege to share this observance of Armistice Day with you.
Back before it became Veterans Day, November 11th, 1948, Claudia on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. To keep up with everything going on, stream our programs on demand there. Classicradio.stream. You can also find our social media links there. Classicradio.stream. Thank this station. Support the advertisers. Tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox here on your favorite radio station.